everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger back at you again today with another MLB 15 The Show Diamond Dynasty video. We're going to be talking about a way that we could potentially make a ton of stubs in the future, and something that I noticed just this week with player cards, and we'll get into that in a second. Just real quick, man, if you were searching on YouTube and you found my video, you found my channel, be sure to subscribe if you're not. Number one source on Diamond Dynasty. I recommend that you subscribe and click that thumbs up as well. I really would appreciate the support. So let's talk about some things here. In Diamond Dynasty, unfortunately, it appears we are definitely not getting new cards as the season goes on. I'm not surprised. This is something that's been this way for a couple years now, pretty much since Diamond Dynasty came out. But what I have noticed, and they did this last year, but it seems that it's happening more frequently, and it might even be happening once a week, is that they are updating players' overalls based on their performance in real life. Now, if you've seen my past videos, the past couple of videos, you guys know that I picked up Bryce Harper and Matt Kemp, and both of those guys were added to my squad. And if you look now, they're gold players. You can see up here on my squad, 86 overall Matt Kemp, 85 overall Bryce Harper. Both of these guys were silver cards when I bought them, and they were a lot cheaper than they are right now. So they got that increased overall, and because I had them when they were silver cards, or when they were lower overall, I believe Bryce Harper was like an 82, and Matt Kemp was maybe an 83. I could have those wrong. But I got these cards, I got these upgrades on my players without spending, any stubs at all. And it was, kind of luck, but also, I went ahead and picked up some players that I thought were good in real life and had decent overalls that, I could afford, and it ended up working out for me. So if we take a look at these cards now, we'll take a look at Bryce Harper and Matt Kemp, and I'll show you guys that they're selling for a lot more. So we'll take a look at Bryce Harper first, and I believe I got him for under 1,000 stubs. Now that he's an 85 overall, as you can see, he's going for a little over 3,000 stubs. So I could easily sell this card and make a nice profit off of it. We'll go ahead and take a look at Matt Kemp as well, because he's selling for a lot more. And again, just a potential way to make a lot of profit, a lot of stubs off of these cards. Now we're going to talk about how we can try to predict these things to happen. It's not going to be an exact science. But as you can see here, Matt Kemp, 86 overall, 4,975 stubs is the cheapest one up. I think I got this one for maybe 1,500 stubs, 1,500 stubs. So if I wanted to sell it, huge profit. So with that being said, you have to watch baseball, follow baseball, have some type of idea of what's going on in baseball to hope for these things to happen. Now, real quick, I'm just going to read off of a list of some of the other players that got updated overalls, and actually I had a couple other ones, so I will show you guys my pitching rotation, because I had Chris Archer, and he's just tearing it up in real life right now. He bumped up from like an 82 or an 84 to an 87, and then Jake Arrieta, who I've just been a fan of since last year. I just decided to pick him up because I liked him in real life, like I said, and because he's having a good start to the season. Arguably the ace of the Cubs now, outperforming John Lester. He got jumped up to an 87 as well. So another two guys here that I just happen to have on my squad that, because they're doing better in real life, got better overalls. But I'll read some from a list here. D. Gordon went +3. Adrian Gonzalez +5. No surprise there. Nelson Cruz +5. I want to take a look at him in a moment. Trevor Bauer +4. Only up to an 81 overall, and he's pitching pretty well. Shane Green for the Tigers +4. Bartolo Colon for the Mets +2. Edison Volquez. I don't know who he plays for now this year. +3. Scott Kazmaier for the A's +2. So there's a bunch of guys. There's also a bunch of guys who lost ratings. Carlos Gonzalez is one of them. He went from, I believe, like an 87 down to an 85 overall. So one other one that I mentioned, and that's Nelson Cruz. I really want to take a look at him before we start talking about the future here, because he was well under 1,000 coins. I'm talking, I got him for 500. I'm sorry, I keep saying coins. I got him for like 5,000 stubs at one point. or not 5,000, 500 Stubs at one point. I can't remember what position he is. Nelson Cruz, I think he's a right fielder. So he's going for 6,800 Stubs. Now, this is a guy that you had to just not be paying attention at all to know that he's just tearing stuff up right now in Major League Baseball. So if I would have known that these ratings increase were going to be happening, I definitely would have loaded up on him. But let's go ahead now and maybe brainstorm here together, and you guys can leave it in the comments section. Let's talk about some players that are good and are playing good this season that might be getting an upgrade in the future. So the first guy up that I'm going to point out here, only selling for about 745 Stubs. You can probably even get him cheaper than that, and I think I'm pronouncing his last name right, but it's Dallas Keuchel from the Houston Astros, a team that's playing just incredibly good baseball right now. And I believe Keuchel's on the mound today against Andrew Cashner and the San Diego Padres, but this dude is 2-0 with a 0.62 ERA in 29 innings pitched, and his card is only an 82 overall. If he can keep this up, I think he's one potential player that's going to get a ratings increase, and right now you can buy him for 745 Stubs. Say he gets bumped up to maybe, an 85 to an 87 overall, he's definitely going to sell for probably 3 to 4 to 5,000 Stubs. So if you want to invest in this player and hope for the best in the future, again, it's not an exact science, but it's a risk that could definitely be worth the reward. Let's take a look at some other cards. I think Mark Teixeira could be another card you might want to invest in. Only 635 Stubs right now, in 80 overall. He is currently the AL Player of the Week for last week. 8 home runs so far on the season. If he can keep that pace up, he's not batting the greatest, doesn't have the greatest batting average, but if he keeps knocking them out of the park, I think that 80 could go up to, maybe an 82, 83, 84, and that's going to cause him to sell for more Stubs. So again, you want to just take a look at some players that are doing very well and possibly invest in them, the guys that are selling for really cheap. Now, I wasn't going to go this entire video without giving props to some Rockies players, and my boy Corey Dickerson definitely deserves some. Now, he's not as cheap as the other couple cards we've talked about so far. Right now, 949 Stubs. But he's tearing it up this year as well. He's got an 80 overall card, right fielder, again from the Rockies. In 20 games, he's batting .333, has 5 home runs and 15 RBI, on-base percentage .996. So I think, he led the Rockies in home runs last year. I think he's going to, as long as he stays away from injury, continue this, dominance in hitting home runs and getting on base. So this is one that I would definitely recommend investing in. And then another card that I'm going to talk about here is my boy DJ Lemay, and look how cheap this one is. 85 coins. If we take a look at the buy-sell options, there are several of them for under 200 Stubs. He, I believe, leads the NL in batting. Let me just pull up my phone really quick here. I'll try to look at it and not take too long. But I believe, yes, right now, he leads the majors in batting average with a 406.406. Only 85. I think I'm going to go ahead and buy a couple of him right now, because if he can keep this up, and he's also a fantastic defensive player, Gold Glove last year at second baseman. If he can keep this up, I think he could see a card, somewhere in the 80s or so. So maybe you should go check this one out as well. Okay, so let's look at this card. This guy, Devin Travis, is so under the radar. They don't even have a picture for him. Poor guy. 78 overall, and you can buy this card for 465 Stubs right now. I believe this one will be a really good investment as well. Through 20 games, he has a .356 average, 6 home runs, and 19 runs batted in. He's absolutely tearing it up. I believe he is a rookie this year for the Toronto Blue Jays. So this is another one I would suggest investing in. And as you can see, quite a few of them in the 400 Stub range. I'm going to go ahead and buy up 2 of them. Actually, I might even buy 3 of them right now. because I do believe that this guy is going to get a ratings increase eventually. Somebody will notice what he's doing if he continues to do it. So that's all I'm really going to go over for right now as far as cards. But again, leave it in the comments section. Maybe some players you think I should pay attention to or everybody should pay attention to. And maybe I'll make a follow-up video to this one. And I don't know if we're getting ratings increase every week. I think this is the second time we've gotten it, though. So hopefully maybe next Monday we'll get some more guys going up and some guys going down. And we'll see exactly what their overalls end out to be and how much their price is affected. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. I'm Popular Stranger. Thanks for watching. Peace.